a podcast filled with conversation and curiosity sparked by Utica Community Schools. This is UCS Podcademy.
Hello, welcome back to the UCS Podcademy. I'm Osirus Currie. I'm a senior at Henry Ford II High School, and I'm joined here today by Miss Lisa Lucas. She's a student council advisor, junior class advisor, senior class advisor, and social studies teacher at Stevenson High School. Today, we're going to be talking about graduation. You know, the season's here, and I think it'd be kind of interesting to dive into what goes into planning a great graduation. You're pretty much a jack of all trades, right?
Yeah, I wear a lot of hats during the day.
So, as I know, you organized the graduation for UCS or Stevenson. What's your role in organizing the graduation?
So I'm the point person for Stevenson. I organize basically the whole ceremony for our school. I get all the seniors together, the order, where students sit, who goes where, name cards, set up in the hallway at the arena. I work with the arena, like where our students are going to stand. I feel like I have a lot of information in my head that day. I'm kind of like the point person. Like I'm the one who knows all the stuff, and then everybody else fills in for the day.
Oh, wow. So how did you come about this position? You know, this is kind of an important thing. So
actually, when I started, I feel like 100 years ago, I worked with somebody who has since retired. So I worked with him, and I taught, when I started, I was teaching special ed, and I was looking to just get more involved in the school. So I started working with him with student council, but he also did the senior class. So I took over helping him with some of the senior class stuff. And then when he retired, I truly do love it. Like, it's crazy and it's insane most of the time, but I love it, and I've been doing it for so long that I feel like I'm good at it. So I just kind of fell into it and then adopted it, and now it's mine.
what do you like so much about planning the graduation?
I don't know if it's the planning the graduation so much. I like working with the kids. I am a planner by nature, so I like doing that part of it. But really working with the students and getting all the students organized. And then that day, it's such an important day for the students and the families. I love seeing it all come together and knowing that I had a part in that.
How many people, how many students do you have to work with to make this whole thing
Well,
work?
There's about 540 graduates, but I work with, as a student council advisor and the senior class advisor, I work with students to help me, with the name cards and things like that. So I get close to, I probably work with 20 or 30 students sort of helping me put this together and then getting to know the kids. And
How many people does it take, like employees in the background that make this whole thing run,
That's a giant question. To be honest, I'm not even sure.
About an army?
I feel like it's an army, and we all have our own parts to it. The administration has their part, and I have my part with the students, and the board office has their part. Everybody has their own piece to the puzzle, and if you can't take any of the pieces out.
Right.
But we all have big parts.
So students are pretty familiar with what graduation looks like on the surface, but what kind of things happen behind the scenes that kids aren't really familiar with?
Probably the organization of it. I think students just see it and they're like, oh, we show up and we sit down and and then we just do, everything's fine. But probably one of the biggest parts of my job is making sure that the students are in the correct order that they're supposed to be in. For instance, choir needs to be seated towards the front. But for us, that means the B side, rows 2, 3, and 4, seats 5 through 15 are out of alphabetical order. So they're in alphabetical order, but they're not. So there's a lot of it looks seamless, but there's a lot of little details with the seating and the order, who's where, and then signage so people know who's sitting on stage, where they're sitting on stage, where are you lining up backstage, where do you walk, those kind of things. I liken it to planning a wedding, sort of. You think you can do it, and then you go through the wedding rehearsal, and you're like, oh man, there's a lot of details here.
So you said that the choir has to sit up front. So how do you decide where people have to sit? I'm just curious.
Okay, so it's mostly alphabetical.
Yeah.
Unless you need to go up on stage for some reason, because the ceremonies, we try to limit it to an hour and a half. So it's alphabetical except for choir, because they'll have to go up on stage and then come back. And we have a commencement speaker and then a senior farewell. So those 2 students will also be moved.
How has coronavirus affected the whole graduation?
Well, it threw it for a loop for 2 years. But I would say this year we are back to, I'm going to call it normal. We're back to regular capacity at Oakland. This year is back to the way it was, I'll say, in 2019. So the past 2 years were quite different, but this is back to, we'll call it normal.
How has graduation changed since you were a senior?
Oh, man. To be honest, I don't think it's changed a whole lot. I feel like students have their, or each school has their things that they do differently, like our Titan. We do the Titan chant at the ooh, ah, you wish you were a Titan. So there's things that are like unique to schools, but I feel like the ceremony itself, honoring individual students that graduated, I feel like, I don't know, and I feel like I'm not that old, but I guess it was a long time ago. I feel like the spirit of it's still the same.
What should seniors know before they, walk into, what's the name of the?
Arena.
The arena. What should they know before they go in there?
Relax. It's all going to be okay. I've noticed that they panic when they're there. They're like, they think it's easy. Like, oh, just line up. It's fine. I'll just walk when I'm supposed to. And then they get there and they're like, oh, Miss Lucas, but do I stand here? Miss Lucas, when do I sit? Miss Lucas, when do I stand? It's all okay. Just calm. It's a celebration in your honor. We're all going to be fine. I'll tell, we're all going to get through it. It's going to be fine.
I'm guessing you've attended like quite a few of these graduations in your day. Any interesting stories or like instances that's something that's happened?
We've had some interesting things happen, but I think we're pretty good at anything that happens. We can kind of take care of it. Like even if there's a mistake or a student goes the wrong way, we're planned enough that we can make that sort of no one else noticed what happened.
So I'm guessing the main goal is just to keep things moving and keep it to the hour and 30.
Yes.
Okay.
And make sure it's super important to me that every student is on, gets their moment of, sometimes we're supposed to keep going, but it's super important to me that every kid gets their name read and that parent hears the name and we're not rushing. Every kid has their moment when they cross the stage. So
for all the people that are being honored on graduation, how do you go about like organizing all of that, keeping everybody in track for that?
Graduation, the ceremony itself, we try to honor everyone equally, all of the graduates equally. They'll speak about the vales and sales. I think that's what you mean, like special honors. Is that what you mean? Yeah. So students at graduation will wear honor cords if they've earned them. There's individual, students will be wearing their honor cords or their medals or their stoles for vales and sales. But the ceremony itself is pretty equal in that every student is honored. We have a separate honors night for students who've excelled academically.
Do you plan honors night as well?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And prom. Yes.
Wow.
And the seniors' last day.
You have a lot of responsibilities around this time of year.
I have a lot going on, yes.
Wow. Must be fun.
I do like it. I really do.
Is there anything else that you like to tell seniors or let people know?
Just for seniors, especially, just enjoy it. This is it. This is your last, college will be fun too. But enjoy it. This is for you and your parents as much as it is for you and your family and all the people that got you to where you're at. I think that's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucas. We really appreciate your time. And thank you all for listening. I'm Osirus Currie with the UCS Podcademy. Thank you.
UCS Podcademy is a resource created by Utica Community Schools, Michigan's second largest school district located in Macomb County. Thank you for listening. UCS Podcademy is always available at uticak12.org/Podcademy. Through this website, you'll be able to listen to additional episodes and access any resources and show notes featured in this episode. If you have episode recommendations, we invite you to send them via email to ucs@uticak12.org.